everyone. I'm Brenda Butner. This is Bulls and Bears. Just when we thought the coast was clear for stocks, more bad weather smacks the Gulf, helping scare up oil prices to new highs. Could that spook the market? Let's find out in the Trading Pit. And here they are, the Bulls and Bears this week. Gary V. Smith, Tobin Smith, Pat Dorsey, along with Bob Froelich and Joe Patapaglia. And joining the crew, Cheryl Casoni. We're lucky to have her because she's a star now. You can catch Cheryl anchoring on the new Fox Business Network starting on October 15th. Scott Blyer, our other star, will be back next week.
Oh, come on!
No. I have to say something nice sometimes, okay? Cheryl, the Fed's rate cut fueling a wild rally last week, but could new storms fueling higher energy prices wash it all away?
You see oil prices go up, you're going to see the price of the pump go up. We've already got a consumer that's very nervous right now. If we get inflationary pressure, that's going to stop Ben Bernanke right now from giving us any more rate cuts. And right now the market is banking on that. So yeah, there is an effect on stocks. You've also got the effect on stocks that are going to suffer from higher fuel prices and transportation costs. I mean, kiss your airline stocks goodbye.
All right, Toby, can you kiss the market goodbye? I mean, it's been doing fine in the face of all these.
You know, she may be a star, but she's dead wrong. Now, first off, airlines maybe are the guys who get hit because they can't pass it through. The truckers can pass it through. You know, FedEx has had problems here. They can't pass it through. But you're going to see, look, at $100, you know, today's value is somewhat equivalent to where we were in 1982. The difference is we use half of the amount of oil to get a dollar of our economy going. So, you know, if we were there for 6 months, forget about it. Bad news. And obviously, you know, with the dollar being down, that means oil gets up. But you know, the guys who said we were going down were the same people at 40, at 50, at 60, and 80, and they've all been dead wrong. We're more resilient than people know.
But Gary B., at some point, this will translate into higher gas prices, even though it hasn't so far, and that is a direct tax on consumers. They can't help but to use gas.
Yeah, there's no doubt, Brenda, and at some point, I agree with Cheryl, it'll drag down, you know, the economy and potentially the market, but I guess I really have to be more in Toby's camp right now.
Excellent.
And, you know, the one other thing I'd like to add is we've kind of become used to this $3.25, $3.50, you know, a gallon price. You know, if you look at the headlines, you look at the business news, even us, this is really the first time we're discussing this in a while. And it really, you know, this time last year, when the last time we hit the $3.25, $3.50 mark, you know, it was in every headline. You know, I guess we'll know it's going to be worrisome when another congressional hearing is held looking into the outrageous oil profits. But you know what? Strangely, Congress has been silent on that, and I think that probably bodes well for the market.
Well,
I think
just
we
keep
can
them
continue
silent
to go
for
up.
good. But Joe, we're not at $3 yet, and $3.50, that really does hit consumers. Plus, these higher oil prices, it puts money in the pockets of our enemies. We're talking about Iran, Venezuela. Isn't that a concern to the market?
Yeah, and it's a very vicious cycle, too. The funding of the Middle East, this great wealth coming in has to be recycled. But unless you have a supply disruption that gets the higher price, the economy continues to absorb it. However, it creeps up on you. For example, the Chinese have a big problem. They've pegged their currency to ours. Oil prices for them are going up. They have tried to stop it with price freezes. We tried that with Nixon. It was a disaster. So they'll end up exporting the inflation that it creates back to us. But that's a creep into the system as opposed to a smackdown. So unless supplies get interrupted, we'll absorb even a higher price from here.
Pat, do you buy the consumer spending argument, though? Isn't that a pretty powerful one?
I think it's a worry. I mean, I think that, you know, we do use a lot less energy per dollar of GDP than we did 5, 10, 15 years ago. And that's something that people often forget when they make these historical comparisons. And it's very important to remember. On the other hand, we do have something else that might be pinching the consumer this fall, and that's higher interest rates when a lot of adjustable rate mortgages reset this fall. We haven't seen this level of resets in the past, and it's just a big unknown what that, combined with higher gas prices, would do to consumer spending. I don't think it's a big worry, but I also don't think it's something to shrug off.
Well, you know, Bob, Joe was talking about supply disruptions, and these storms cause huge supply disruptions, one hitting the Gulf, take out refineries. Isn't that a worry?
It is, because that's a potential wild card, and that's something that as an investor you really can't invest based on that one-off event. These erogenous events, they just happen. I think that's the short term.
Erogenous?
It is erogenous.
You know what? Let's just say I am so glad Scott's not here. Because